Up everybody, welcome to a quick video on the new Honda Civic Si 2022. Honda just released it this morning, and I kind of want to jump in and kind of talk about it a little bit. Right now, I know some of you guys are either disappointed or happy. I mean, either or. A lot of people have been waiting for the Si to come out since the 11th gen has been debuted. I do work at Honda. I sell Hondas. I own 11th gen myself. I do have a 22 Civic Touring, and I also have a 2009 Civic Si Coupe. Meaning that I've been selling them for a few years, so I'm quite familiar, of course, especially the last few generations that came out. So a lot of things I want to talk about in this video, but let's just do a quick overview of what Honda released. So the exterior. So there's a picture right now. You guys have seen the back of it. Most of you guys are probably disappointed on the exterior, but you got to understand that in the past, Honda always done this. The normal Civic versus the Si, the differences as far as the styling was usually like you had to squint your eye. No, you don't got to squint your eyes, but it's not that much of a difference. You know, from my 2009 Civic Si that I have versus the regular version to that, wheels, fog lights, spoiler, Si badging is usually what they do. So that's what they did here. I mean, for the 11th generation, Honda wanted to go for a more European look. That's why it looks how it looks. And that's why the hatchback looks the way how it looks. And they also didn't want to go too aggressive like they did the previous generation. Like the 10th generation was very aggressive, and Honda wanted to aim for a different crowd for this generation. That's why the styling is kind of more toned down and chill. And if you look at the past Civics in the past, the Civic has never been very aggressive looking. Besides the last generation, like 9th gen, 8th gen, 7th gen, the Civic's always had a calm look to it. Yeah, it's never been super aggressive. I mean, that's what they have the Type R's for, of course. But the Civics and the SIs are just like the Si is sport injected, so it's a nicer, funner to drive Civic. I mean, that's all it is. But let's kind of dive a little bit more deeper into this thing. So let's get back to the front. So here in the front fascia, you guys can see that the grille is different. You have an Si badge, and that's all I see. That's all I see. I mean, the headlight's the same. Honda should have at least gave it like a little lip in the front or something, you know? And I'm not sure if this car has fog lights. They should have fog lights. Well, I don't think Honda's gonna add it on there. Like it looks like the fake fog lights that's on the LX, the Sport, and the EX. Because right now the fog lights are only for the Touring, and I have a Touring. I love the fog lights; they look beautiful. And then Honda, they probably could have did something different since they don't have fog lights. But I know it's cheaper to just reuse the same bumper and just kind of change one thing in it, whatever. So I'm not sure. I can't confirm. It looks like it don't have fog lights. So if it doesn't, that's a big miss. Even though fog lights right now is something that everyone is taking away. It's kind of like going away, I guess, right now. So I don't know. But, you know, get the black mirror caps. That's still the same. The grille is, like I said, is a little bit different than the normal sedan. So if there's an Si behind you, if you don't see that big red Si in the grille, then most likely the grille itself will tell you it's an Si. I mean, unless you see this, what is it, blazing orange pearl? I mean, you see its color, then you definitely know it's an Si. But yeah, like I said, I'm not surprised that the styling is not completely different from the sedan. I mean, this is what they do. So let's get a closer look. Oh yeah, I don't think that's fog lights. So that's the fake little fog lights that the lower trims get on the normal sedan. So yeah. So no fog lights, different grille. I mean, you still get the full LED, high beam, low beam, turn signals. And what's cool is the high beam is actually in the middle and the low beams are on the outside headlights. I'm gonna put a link to a video I did when we first got the 11th gen, so you can kind of go over some of those features. But yeah, the wheels, I was thinking it would have got some like complete different wheels. These wheels just look like the Sport and the Sport Touring, I guess. But hey, whatever. I know the Sport Touring got like a gray machine finish, and the Sport got the full black. But it is what it is. And then we get to the rear. So if you're behind an Si, you know it's an Si and not a non-Civic. If one, you see that big red Si in the back, or look like the dual exhaust is going to be the big giveaway right now, because the normal non-SIs don't get dual exhaust, they get single exhaust. Even though EX and Touring have the same 1.5 that's in this thing as well. But it looks like it has the HPD spoiler though. I forgot what the HPD spoiler looked like. It looks similar to this. That might be the exact same thing. You know, I thought Honda would have made a spoiler or something like that. I didn't think they would have kept a duck bill, and besides that, everything else looked the same. And this makes sense because on the back of my Civic Si, my '09, if you park it next to an EX or something like that from the same year, yeah, you see the SI badge, spoiler, exhaust, and that's exhaust. And that's pretty much it. So we're gonna jump into the interior now. They have their, you know, their racing cue and styling and stuff, but this is what Honda does with their side. So this is very familiar. Comparing to the normal Civic sedan, it looks the same way. The layout's still the same. I mean, you do have the 6-speed manual. The seats, you know, the red inserts. We're gonna get to the seats actually next slide. But you get the red inserts all around. You know, the whole red stitching in the steering wheel, red gauge cluster, red everything. This is, you know, this makes sense. You have the 3 pedals down there, perfect. One thing would have been cool if that dead pedal was like the same material as the pedals. That actually would have been, you know, kind of cool. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I am disappointed with the cluster though. So I watched the video, of course, when this thing debuted, and I thought they would at least gave the same 10-inch driver cluster or whatever screen thing that the Touring has. This still has the half analog, half digital display like the LX Sport and EX has. So I'm very shocked that Honda didn't give it the full 10-inch adjustable, you know, cluster or whatever. But hey, it is what it is. One good news though is they at least gave this thing the Touring's 9-inch display, because LX Sport and EX gets the 7-inch display, you know, where your backup camera and everything pops up on. But it got the Touring one, so that's pretty cool. And it got wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. So that's a good thing that they carried over to the SI that the Touring had. The past few generations, the SI has always been an EX. Feature-wise, it's an EX with more performance. So the fact that you can get something a little bit different from the normal EX now, I mean, minus the manual transmission, but the bigger screen is cool. Still shocked that they didn't give it the full the 10-inch. But what is cool though, you do get the Bose 12 speaker system that the Touring gets too. So there's a few things from the Touring that you do get that I'm actually excited for. I'm glad you actually get that. The wireless CarPlay Android Auto is going to be a big seller for this thing, and we're going to take a look at the shifter and get a little bit more closer on that thing next. But interior looks good. It looks exactly what I think an SI will look like. And then here goes the seats. I mean, I already knew this was going to happen. Good seats. They look nice. I like the red with the black with the SI. Honda went back to, I guess, the whole having an orange exterior and red exterior. So that's pretty interesting. But that orange color, to be honest, dealerships are not going to have a lot of those available. Actually, there's a car shortage right now. So don't think that there's going to be a bunch of these SIs sitting on lots. So you can just go in right now and go get one. At my job, we already pre-sold the first SI that we have coming in. And that SI is not being built to, I think, it's going to start being built next month of December. So we won't really see that car till February or something like that. But yeah, the seats look beautiful, look comfortable. SIs always have good seats. So what's the one thing I can say? And look, if you look down there by where my head is, like literally right here. Oh yeah, right here. That material is specifically what's for the Touring, where you touch by the couples and stuff. So they brought that over, so that's pretty good. Red stitching on the center armrest too, so that's pretty cool. And then, oh look, they even get the little red little outlines on the rear seats too. And then in the doors too, the doors got the little red insert thing going on there. So that's what's up. All right, here we go. So 6-speed manual. It does have the auto stop feature that I know a lot of people hate, but remember, cars are gonna be full electric in the next like 20-30 years. So right now, you know, they're making it harder for manufacturers to make cars because these cars gotta be more greener and, you know, save the planet and all that stuff. So that's why they have to have these stuff in there. So don't be like, oh my God, I can't believe Honda did this. You know, everyone's gonna be, every new car is gonna have this now. But you do have the drive mode selector, just like the normal sedans, electronic parking brake, and then you have the brake hold that works with the electronic parking brake. The shifter, I mean, you know, I think it was that that's like the Type R shifter, right? Something like that. I don't know. The shifter is okay. I mean, it looks just like my same design cue like my '09 SI would have came with. I hate it. Changed it. We got a more weighted one. Honda did say that they made this more shorter throws, so this should feel a little bit more notchier too. So people were thinking that Honda's gonna make a DCT, and no. Honda SI has always been manual, and Honda is gonna stick to that fun front wheel drive racing heritage they have, and it's gonna ruin the car if they made an automatic in this thing. I know a lot of people were mad that there isn't a hatchback SI or something like that, or a 3-door Civic Si, or an SI coupe. Or you gotta realize that when a manufacturer end a certain type of car, or a certain type of body style, or a certain type of no more coupes or stuff like that, they do that because it don't sell. It doesn't sell. Like, everyone in the United States right now is buying crossovers, so sedans are dying. And if you're buying a 2-door car, it's gonna be like a Corvette or some type of Supra, you know, like some high-end supercar. You know, the coupes are it's a thing of the past. I'm actually shocked that Honda had a coupe for that long. You know, they ended the coupes in what, 920, I think. And everyone, look at the Corolla. Corolla ended their coupes back in like 90 something. You know, the Sentra had a coupe in the 90s too. You know, like, all these, like, everyone else ended the coupe a long time ago, and Honda was the only one with the coupes. Even with the Accord coupe, they ended the Accord coupes in 17, and the fact that they even had a coupe for that long is just mind-blowing. So you guys should just applaud Honda for even letting you guys rock a coupe for that long. If it's gone, it just didn't sell when it was here. I mean, that's just what it is. And they're not gonna make these cars and not make money. They're not gonna make these cars and have them sitting a lot. They're not gonna make these cars, no one's buying them. So you guys not buying them, they're not making them. The power on this thing, so it's still the same 1.5 turbo 4-cylinder that's in the current non-SI sedans right now, EX and Touring, because you know that LX and Sport get the NA 2.0, and a lot of people were mad that it's less horsepower than the previous generation, and it's 5 horsepower. So, I mean, you know, 5 horsepower. First of all, if Honda did make a horsepower bump, I thought it would have been like 210, 211, like nothing crazy, because Honda, you don't buy an SI for horsepower. Like, I mean, it will be more horsepower than the normal sedan, but it's not a horsepower car. Like, Honda, what they focus on is the drive and how well it drives. That's why the 10 Gen SI, people love how it drives, because of how the suspension is built, how the motor is built, how the power is laid down. Okay, it makes 200 horsepower. Yeah, we already know, 5 less horsepower. But they said they updated I think it's a lighter flywheel with the clutch. They've updated the suspension. They've updated the gearing, the transmission. Being that for these 11 gens, the 1.5 has VTEC in the exhaust now, so that's why the EX and Touring make 180 instead of 174, because of that change in there. So I'm assuming with that change to the motor, that's something they had to play with to make the horsepower lower. And of course, Honda sensing is standard on the SI, and there's a few things that, because of the manual, it won't have. But to be honest, no one buys this for Honda sensing. So half you guys are probably not going to use it if you own this car, if you buy this car, but it is standard on the Civic. So my dealership, we're getting the one I told you is already pre-sold. We're getting a Sonic Gray sedan. So once that come out, I'm gonna do a quick, review of it, walk around, show you guys the actual car, and all these picture stuff we're looking at, I'll show you guys in person. And at the end of the day too, it's still gonna get you good gas mileage. It's like, 27 city, 37 highway. Most performance cars, won't give you good gas mileage because you're buying it for performance. But the SI is an overall vehicle. It's a good value. It's a lot of things standard in the car. You're gonna get good gas mileage. It's still gonna be safe. It's still gonna be fun to drive. I mean, there's no other car out there like the SI. You get a lot of car for the money. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in next video.